Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of the Devs Like Us podcast show. Today, we're going to be discussing developer automation. So, when you think about developer automation and when we think about development, let's think about the full stack developer. You got the front end, you got the back end, and now you even have the IT portion of the stuff that the single developers are managing. So, how do we become more productive when we're having more tasks? So, we're going to talk about developer automation today. Crew, how's everyone doing?
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
it's going
I'm
good.
good. I'm good.
How are you?
I'm
Any
excited.
Pretty good.
Automation's my
Pretty good.
my thing.
That's me.
Exactly.
That's my middle name.
Exactly. All right, Clarence. If that's you, start us off with first
Yeah.
of all, not before we get into the topic. What's been going on with life? How's everything going with you?
Life has been
Any significant events? Yeah.
none so far. The biggest one that's still on in progress is finishing this desk that I started in the beginning of the year. The pollen has hit, so I haven't had a chance to do any staining because I don't want any pollen in my stain. But yeah, other than that, just been. I feel like I've been busy. I have been doing a ton of automation, so I'm pretty excited about today's topic.
All right. All right. All right. JB, how about you? We've been the people on your in your Twitter and your IGs are seeing all the nice pictures you've been taking lately. How you been doing?
I've been good. Yeah, I've just been trying to get back outside, now that we got this real nice weather outside and things like that. Um, Trying to get a little more development, starting joining a machine learning study group. So
Cool.
we'll see how that goes. Also bought a, a new book yesterday about AI and what that looks like, how it will look, and things like that. So I'm really interested to learn more about that. But other than that, yeah, everything's been good. Also done a few talks. So yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah,
just regular
JP's
stuff.
going global this year. I feel it. It's gonna be a
exactly.
household
I feel
name.
it. I feel it. I feel it as well. I feel it as well.
How's
All right,
everything on
cool.
your end, T man?
It's been busy. I'm pushing through. What's going on? What's going on? Just work, school, family, work, school.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, just keeping things simple. We're not exactly all in like back to normal, but we've kind of been doing some outdoor things with the kids and stuff. So that's been fun. So it's been fun. Automation. Let's go around first with experience. Like, what's your experience been with automation? I guess just at a high level before we dive into the good and the bad and all of that. JB, you
Ooh,
want to
ooh,
start
pick
off?
me.
Like,
Yeah, I want to go first.
what's your overall experience with automating all the things or some of the
Um,
things?
that has been like my main thing as a developer since the beginning of my development career. Um, I've been like developing the process of like bringing up new servers on, AWS or automating different tools where it's like we've put all these tools and they should work together, but it's a manual process of going through and things like that. And let's automate that entire process. You tell me this one thing, and everything else just goes. Um, and couple makes, things like that. Um, yeah, that's essentially been my thing thus far.
My story is similar to JB's, although like I did start out doing more system administration stuff, but my first dev experience, it has actually just been my whole career since then. It's been just automating everything from the start of working with a finance team and basically automating their processes that they used in I can't even think of what it is now. Microsoft Access. So basically, doing that in an automated way, a little bit more safer, because once access was done, they wanted something that was a little bit more central so that they had some backup and so forth like that. And then moving on from there to working with the storage team and automating how people ask for more storage, or how, basically like reporting and all that stuff. And like now I'm doing all automation for a security team and trying to help them out with a little bit of integration with different tools and such. So I've been automating for the last 5 or so years, and each experience has definitely been one that builds on from the previous, and learning a little bit more of a deeper dive. And just it has definitely opened up the doors to seeing how other people are automating, and also how some people have like taken their quote unquote knack and made a business of it. And now, from being a small time tool for one company or one place, they've kind of developed something that could be across the board for a lot of different companies that are using or doing the similar things.
Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, so for me, it started off just at my first developer position was within the testing space, and so that was really my first form of like automation. I remember seeing Selenium. I'm like, wow, like this is such a powerful framework and tool. And then I grew on as I was able to get to more like more system wide roles. It was it grew with being able to automate deployments for the cloud, or deploying cloud systems with of course Ansible. I know I'm bringing it up again. So with that as well, and so just being, and then it just grew from being a developer, like having when you're having those manual tasks, being able to just really build on, you know, making those tasks that you do on a daily basis, finding a way to put that in code, and to put it in some type of framework to be able to automate. And also, I remember like one of the coolest things, just starting off as a developer, just being able to start using like cron jobs, and then after that, seeing these full-fledged frameworks that pretty much do the same thing for you. So it's very valuable, and I've had good experiences with it. Something that I didn't do in school starting out, but after you kind of get the basics of development down, you start looking at, okay, how can you increase your productivity? Developers have a lot of things on their plate, and so when you look, especially from like looking at a full stack developer, it used to be front end and back end, and now people are saying front end, back end, and then the IT cloud processes that go along with that. So it's been a great experience, and it's something that you don't want to put too much on your plate at once from a learning perspective, but it's something that's definitely on your learning path, and it's gonna really bring back a lot of great benefits when you do add it to your plate to learn. All right. So we want to start with the good, or we want to start with the bad?
Let's start with the bad, because I feel like there's way more good than there is bad in the
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I
automation
agree.
realm.
And it kind of
I
ended
agree.
on a higher note.
Yeah,
All
we,
right.
we
The
want people
bad.
to automate it.
Yeah.
All
Um,
right. I'll let yeah. So JB, you want to start or?
sure. For me, the major bad that I see is, um, people sometimes get too wrapped up in automation that they want to over automate things, which
Mm.
can, take out the engagement of the users that you're automating for. As far as, you may have people that are just like, it's just not fun anymore, because now everything's so simple. It's just like, oh, I just go in and I click this text box, text box, and this text box, and that's it. And if that's your whole product, is like, well, I don't really feel excited to use it anymore. Um, but as far as on the developer side, um, we're looking at, if it's just a dev tool, then it's just us looking at how can we make it easier for them. So for a developer, it might be fine, but for, if you're making for the outward facing user, then you can kind of disengage those users.
I think I have two bads, and one of my bads is just kind of what JB just said, as far as the thought of over automating. I have seen that some in some cases where there are a lot of things that you just can't automate, and I'm not going. I guess I shouldn't say you can't automate, but the time, the funds, the effort, it might not equal up to just having somebody manually do it. I do feel like that there are some things that you could probably take it in chunks and maybe help out a little bit, but there's a case where some roles or some companies where I think that they're just like automate everything, and it's just like whoa, let's slow down, let's see what we really need to automate first, and then kind of build on from there. So that's probably one of my bads. The second bad that I have, and I guess I've seen this more so in my experiences over the years, is that automation is so good that it's also bad in that it replaces some people in some roles in some cases. So I mean, good for the company, but bad for the IT professional who's either built their experience off of one thing or something like that. So, and they're not to fully replace, but some in some cases, when you're automating some tools, if that's somebody's daily task, you kind of see basically a transition of they're there to help you, they're there to kind of see it through, and then once you build it to a point where you don't need that interaction anymore, now that's putting somebody in a compromised position to whether it be to grow, do something different, but at the same time, kind of just remove their quote unquote role.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, for me, when it comes to the bad for automation, I really think it's more so bad practices more so than the act of doing the automation itself. Like some things that you're going to automate, but it's only as good as the person who makes it. And so there are a lot of edge cases or use cases where it just wasn't thought about within the automation piece, and so you still need that overall monitoring. And so so for me, there's really not bad as far as like the automation piece, but it's really just more so of making sure that you're doing it properly and that it's not the end all be all of oh, this automates this now and it works the times we've tested it, so it's good forever. Or it's not, because everything, there's so many different changing variables to pieces, so a lot of times these things break and they need to be adjusted, and maybe the person who automated that piece is gone, so we need the new person needs to come on and make sure that is able to be updated, and so that it can be functioning at a high quality as well. So, anything else with the bad
Well, that's it.
overall, that or anything that we picked off of what others have said in that section?
I think what you said was very important. In the fact of, I think, and I don't know, it might be a segue. I love segues to the good part. But one of the I guess one of the bad good things of automation, to kind of put it in the middle, is that it does expose bad processes. In a lot of cases where people have been doing things for so long, and they've padded it for so long that it's just like when you need to automate it, it's like I don't even know where to start, because this is maybe not the best business practice. Maybe this is something that has been bubblegum paperclip patch for so long that now you can't even code around it.
Yeah.
Did you just say bubble gums and paper clips?
Yeah, man. That's how you get things
He's
to
doing
work.
that elementary school build.
I'm from the country. You improvise. So if you got bubble gum and paper clips, you can do anything.
Bubble
Regular
gums and
country
paper
MacGyver.
clips. A part of me wants to make that the title of this whole episode: bubble gums and paper clips.
We should just make it bubblegum paper clips with a question mark behind it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And then another piece that you picked on, Clarence, from what both of you and JB stated, was for me was, one of the bad things being moving people, I guess, taking jobs from others. And we've talked about this with some other topics as well. But I do believe that it's able to take us out of the boring things that we do every day and it allows us to really focus on what is like really why we were hired to do, to like to create the next thing, or to focus on that feature, and to focus on like other things that the automation doesn't do for us. So I do believe that those who have an understanding holistically of like how everything operates from a holistic standpoint should be fine. Like they should still be able to be employed. There's so many other technical problems that we have to solve. We don't want to do the same things that we have to do like every day in the morning. Like we want to have a lot of things automated.
And another thing is just like you were saying, it if you have a holistic view, it gives those people who've been automated out of a job to have a chance to pivot to something, learn more, because this is a forever growing field. And so if you're just doing the same thing for 20 years, it's like, are you really growing at that point? So if you take that chance to turn that bad into something good, then it gives you a new perspective, a new view of the development process and how that looks for other people. So,
And one thing I mentioned was things are changing all the time. So automation, the automation sometimes things that we've automated these updates. When people are whenever we're adding or changing any state within the whole like system, something else like it's going to be a trade off for something. Something else. We introduce bugs all the time into these systems, and so things are going to break, and we're going to have to have a good picture of where everything stands so we can fix it. And so I think we're a long ways from like people not having jobs
yeah.
within this space, in my opinion. The good. Clarence, you want to start off this time?
Yeah, let me grab my
good?
scroll. I think as JB mentioned, it's a lot of good, but I think like with the good, the biggest one is transforming that tedious task into something that is just painless, effortless. Like, I mean, I know I get satisfaction every time I complete an automation task or project, and seeing the value that the user gets. It just it reminds me of why I do what I do, and why I try to do my best at it. And I think that with automation, I mean, the sky's the limit. If you can, if you have a process that you can sort of kind of put on the back burner and make it easier for everyone, I mean, automation is just it's a blessing. I'd just leave it there.
I like it. How about you, JB?
When it comes to the goods, let me see.
I love the goods.
There's not just a good; it's the goods. I mean, like Clarence was saying, like it cuts down on those tedious tasks because there's a lot of things that like when you come onto a new job and you're like, okay, like how does this process work? And people are teaching you and things like that, and you're like, wait, we got to do this every single time, and it's one of those things where sometimes you can quickly knock out those tasks and automate them. And it's like, hey, now we don't have to worry about it. We just, type in this command or hit this button and it just goes. So makes your life easier. Boost morale because you're not worried about all those little small things. Let's get to the things I really care about. Let me see what else. There's some people who don't like testing. If the testing is already that testing process is already made and built, let's just go ahead and let me do what I got to do, send it over, and it's done. And then the process of building out your tools. You've done it once, but now that you have this automation tool, it can go through the process and do that for you on a repetitive basis. So, yeah.
I think you all basically made all of the good points, but I guess from my angle, one of the good things is how people say writing code and all that. It's like an art form almost to a point where if you're looking to have fun, automating things for me is extremely satisfying. It's like the hole in one. It's like the the and one.
Yeah,
It's like any whatever, like what's it, the trifecta? What's the, I don't know whatever great accomplishment. For some reason, when you see, like, when you automate something, or when like you set a threshold for something and then the system reaches that threshold and then it triggers something that you've automated, it's so cool. Like, literally, I was gone, I was away, but something that I put in place was triggered, and it did on its own without me doing it, at the time that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rewarding. If you've never like automated anything, I would just say try it out, because it's really fun.
Yeah.
It is like a fun thing to do, and I can't even explain why you get that feeling of like, wow, it's working and it's doing it, and I didn't like click anything. It did it on its own.
I think
So
that's
for me, it's just a cool thing.
It kind of goes into us being developers in general. Like, the reason we do this job is to go through the mud and, go through that rough patch of trying to figure out how to make something work. And then you see that end product. And it's like, it's that whole proud parent moment of, I did that. That's
Mm-hmm.
me, type of thing. And you're just seeing like, hey, I was struggling trying to figure out how to make this piece connect to this piece and, make all these things work in this sequential order. And, or if you're doing asynchronous, that I just wanted to make all these things work and they did. And this is what it looks like on the other end. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think to add on what you said, now this is a non-technical explanation of what you're trying to explain, but I think this is how you really draw people into what the greatest part of automation is, right? So just imagine, right? We have all these different platforms now that deliver food to your home. Just think about that. Think about how automated that is, right? You don't have to get dressed. You don't have to get out, get in your car in any of the elements of the rain or whatever, snow, wherever you live at. And like, you go to an app to order food, somebody from, say, DoorDash comes, drops your food off. How satisfying is that, knowing that your food is there and you didn't have no effort to put in for it, right? Like, that's the joy in automation in general, really.
Are you speaking to me or the Devs Like Us community?
community.
Because everyone knows I love food.
It's definitely
and
you.
I'm
Definitely
so.
you. It was
I was
very
talking to the community, but I was just thinking about, as you were talking, it just reminded me of like pretty much like, if people have no way of relating to automation from a dev standpoint, it's just a matter of like, think of your everyday life and things that you've traded off for somebody else to do it, or like you've delegated to some other platform, whatever the case may be. Like, that is the joy that we get when we automate things. That just
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I'm with it.
I'm trying to think of other symbolisms we can use. This is waking up to breakfast in bed, and like, you was hungry and no one knew, and it just was there.
Hot dog.
This is driving in the Tesla.
Oh gosh.
And your hand slipped, and then the car just corrected itself and saved your life. What else? Anyone else got anyone?
I mean, this is like looking outside your window and seeing that your grass needs cut, and that man comes and cuts your grass the next day.
Oh!
That's the best part.
That's good.
That was
That's
it.
good.
Okay, we definitely know that we're adults now because we're excited about getting our grass cut. Like,
What else is there? Can't think of any right now. In the comments, compare the feeling of automation to something in life for us. That's good. All right.
I love it.
Let's stay on track.
Tweet about this.
We're already off track, but let's get back on track. All right. Applications. What type of applications can we use to help with automation? So there's a lot of things, from automating software, automating tests, automating IT processes, and cloud functions, of course. But any favorite applications you all use for certain types of automation? JB?
My current favorite is just Docker files. You figure out how to build that Docker image once, and you're good. After that, it's just, hey, just run this, get me my new image, or my new container, and you're just going from there. That's my favorite for the moment right now.
I need to learn
Just
Docker.
build props. It's fun.
I've heard so
Fair.
many people talk about it. I've looked at it, and every time I look into it, it just seems like magic. I just don't understand. And then when I talk to folks, they're just like, "It's not that complex."
It's not.
Clarence,
Yeah,
you're a
it's not.
programmer. The same way people who aren't programmers are like, work your magic. Do whatever it is that you do to, get this done. Docker files are the same way. It's just a list of commands and it just goes.
You know
That's
what
it.
happened? When I see Docker, so I think about like, and I'm sorry to keep getting off topic, but it keeps making me think of cool, funny things. But it reminds me of like Harry Potter when he sees them run into that brick wall. Well, that's me running to Docker, but I don't go through. I hit the wall every single time.
Hold on, I missed what he said. It went out over here. What did
He
he say?
said
Q?
he said it makes him think of Harry Potter. And when they had that brick wall and everybody was going through the brick wall.
To get to the other
Well,
side.
him with Docker is he's just hitting the brick wall. He never gets through.
Oh, everyone else was just going through, and he.
Yeah.
I keep running,
Okay.
breaking my glasses every single time.
Basically for the
So,
older folks, Casper,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
the dad tried to go through the wall with the uncles. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's on my list though. I'll get it. I'll learn it.
it's literally a couple, just an hour to get the
Yeah.
basics.
The basics. Just quick
And then
course.
it's really more so, yeah, more so of the orchestration after that that might get a little bit more complex. But just creating a Docker file itself is maybe even 30
Simple.
minutes. Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
It's more so getting your order of
But
operations right.
Ah,
yeah. But for so Clarence, did you have any other tools or anything
no.
for
I'm more of like the general. So I know I was looking at the list that JB had up there earlier, and I laughed because she was like so passionate about all of it, and I was just like, man, I don't use any of those things. I'm just like a general automator. You give me some Python, and I could just find some APIs to do stuff. But like, maybe I'm not making my life easier. I need to automate the automation.
Good.
well, that's fine. But like we said, there's levels to
Yeah,
this. So
yeah.
Yeah.
you could just be automating like functions and creating like small internal developer tools that kind of automate some of those things. So there's definitely levels to
That's
it.
true.
For me, I love Selenium. I love what Circle CI. I love GitHub
Mm,
Actions, cron jobs for the like just for like
the
to
basics.
me that was when I found that when I found that like that Linux like it had that capability. I just was so blown. Like that's when it started for me. So that still has like a place in my heart.
It's like,
And
you mean to
but yeah,
tell me
there's
on
so
boot I
many.
could just do this?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like so hard to really unwrap like the operating system and how things work. Even though we like you take the class and stuff in school, but it was just like that's really how I was like, wow, this is like very very powerful. Um, but yeah, so any others that we missed? I think we hit a lot of.
Um, One I do want to mention is Kubernetes because even if you're, automating your Docker image creation, Kubernetes helps you just do your container automation. So like
Mm,
you have one of your containers go down, don't even worry about it. Kubernetes got you. It's gonna
Yeah.
boot that new container back up, and your processes can just continue to go. Um, so yeah, that's definitely a really big one. Um,
And if you used any of your sites on Black Friday and they were still up, most likely you can thank Kubernetes or K8s for that because
yes,
they yeah, as JB stated, they're managing all your compute resources. So all the old school, how many servers do we need is not a big factor anymore.
not at all. That AWS plus Kubernetes got you covered. Um, and one tool that I haven't had the chance to look into very much, but I've been hearing a lot about is Applitools.
Mm.
Um, visual testing and monitoring, all those things. I'm interested to see how it works and things like that. Um, but yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about that.
Nice, nice. And that's for testing, JB?
Yeah. So
Okay.
like testing your frameworks and stuff like that.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's good. That's all I had today. You all, any other closing remarks you all had? Any take homes for the audience that you all want to make sure you get out before
Get
we
to
end this great
automating.
episode?
Yeah, yeah,
Get to
yeah.
Automate your
automating.
life. Make life
Yes,
easy.
yes.
There's things you do at home that you're just like, oh, I'm tired of doing this. Automate it. You're a developer. Go ahead through the process because number one, it's continuous learning. Two, you're putting into practice the things that you already know so that you
Hmm.
can stay fresh. Automate it. That's it.
That was
Awesome.
well said. I
Awesome.
think we should just drop a mic on that one.
Okay, Clarence has spoken. All right, you all. All right, you all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Devs Like Us. We hope that you enjoyed the show. You've enjoyed the episode. If you have not checked out our last episode before this one, check out the Hector interview. Hector provided some great gems on low code, no code, and then just his developer experience and how he's been his journey to becoming a software engineer. So check that episode out as well. If you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, if you're one of our podcast listeners, go ahead and leave us, a great comment and 5 stars. That always helps the channel, helps gets the word out and grow the community. So that's an easy way to contribute. My name is Terrence.
I'm Clarence.
JB.
All right. Until next time, you all have a good one.